Welcome back to Inside Sources. Today, I'm leading the show with a conversation on the future of Nigeria with a Nigerian female politician of note, somebody who has been a gubernatorial candidate in Oyo State, representing the National Interest Party in 2019. She's also an educationist. She has served in various capacities, both at federal and state level, and she's currently an ADC chieftain in the state. Possibly going to be running again for governor. I'd like to welcome to Inside Sources for the first time, Honorable Bolanle Aminat Sarumi Aliyu. It's good to see you on Inside Sources, Honorable.
Thank you so much, Sir Laolu. I appreciate being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And there's quite a bit of traction that you have on social media. And of course, you ran for governor in 2019 under National Interest Party. You've also served the Oyo State government and the federal government. So I wanted to ask you, if you look at where Nigeria is today, do you think that we are on course to greatness, which many of us believe is the destiny of our country?
Thank you very much. So first, Sir Laolu, yes, Nigeria is a great country. Nigeria will be great. However, it needs more people to get involved. People will be like, I'm not interested in politics, I beg, I don't want to hear it. Lie, it starts from there because everything is affecting you because of the wrong leaders you've chosen. You have to put your children in private schools. Why? Because the government schools have run down. I went to St. Louis Grammar School, Mokola Ibadan. It was a good school at that time. I'm sure you also went to a government school. So you are putting your children in private schools. You're spending more money. If the leadership or the government gave you quality education in the public schools, you will save your money, carry your children from the private ones, put them in the government ones. You won't have to overstretch yourself. Same thing with the healthcare system. So it all boils down to who we choose to lead us state by state and at the federal level. So you all have to join us. You don't need to contest. You can partake, you can invest, you can spend your time and volunteer. Once you see somebody good come out, support that person. Let us do it bit by bit. Because look, in the UK, where my mom is from, when someone comes out and says, I want to be your representative in this local government, which you would call your local government, maybe chairman or your house assembly, yes, your assembly members, right. You will sit the person down. The community will gather themselves together and tell the person, what are you going to do when you get there? They will write all his manifestos, give it to them. They'll say, no problem. Now go out. Go on radio, go on TV, let people know who you are. We personally, the neighbors, the people in that local government are going to campaign for you. We're going to knock on doors and tell people, this is the person we want to elect in our local government. 1 naira you will not spend as an aspirant or candidate. Once you get there, you can never go against what you wrote for them. They will call you again 3 months later, 6 months later, Oga, you told us you would do X, Y, Z. You said you will fix this. You will pass this law. You have not done it. Can you go and resign honorably?
Wow.
If you resign honorably, they will say, yep, he's a good guy. You know, he listened to us and he's resigned. He can queue up for another term. However, we got somebody else to try out. If you refuse to resign, they will get the signatures together and they will remove you.
Wow.
However, you have no chance to come back again. When are we going to get to that point in Nigeria? When are Nigerians going to realize that they're the ones with the power in their hands to make these people honorable members, senators, governors? When will Nigerians realize that the power is in their hands? I want to see that day, and it must happen before this 2027.
I mean, I must tell you that, you know, you just fired something, because this is exactly what we are trying to do, to give information to our people that they hold the power. Yep. Now, the reason why that hasn't happened is simply because we have, for the most part, politicians who have managed to hijack the system, and they have hold of it, and they don't want the people to know that they are powerful at all. Yes. You know, so that is really part of what we need to do to change that dynamics. And I'm going to ask you a specific question, because I've been looking at this myself very closely. I imagine, and I'll ask you to comment, that part of the problem that we have is that we encourage our people to vote. Not that we have enough people even voting.
No, it's not. It's terrible.
But we encourage them to go to vote. You know, we've even registered 94 million at the last time.
And only less than 30 voted.
Maybe
30 million.
Maybe 15 actually. Yeah.
About 29 million. The total votes was 29 million.
Okay, all right.
Because of the smaller candidates.
All right. Oh, exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
So we have 29 million, and then out of 94,
yes.
It's still lower than West Africa is doing. But it seems that the real core of the problem is actually the fact that we allow the politicians to run the game at the ward. People are not involved in it. They gather a number of, I don't want to describe them as riffraffs because there are still decent people there.
So we call them uneducated.
Yeah.
Uneducated.
Unenlightened people. People who don't really have some value. There are people who have value, and we don't condemn them, but for the most part. And so they become a godfather there. They know what they want.
And when it's time,
and they produce
share the money.
they produce certain candidates that are beholden to that cause. And then we ask our people, come out and vote. Who are they voting for?
Thank you.
They are voting for people who have emerged from a process that is clearly already, So what do you think about that? Don't you think that is one of the things that we need to ask people to go and become members?
100%.
In the walls.
100%. So because I am involved, I contested in 2019. I ran the campaign for 1 solid year. So that's 2018, leading up to the election. So I saw it live and direct, and I knew where the problems were. To the people watching, first, you need to get your voter's card. You need to register for it. You will suffer for 1 day, 2 days to get that card. But it's worth it because there's no place like home. You can see what's happening in America, how President Trump is sending people back home. If you're a different color, you're out. You're even terrorized. You can't even go out. Why would you want to be in a country like that you can't have peace of mind? Get that card. Now, go and join the party in the local governments, like you said. You have to be a member. Don't mind sitting next to people who are not up to par with you. Don't mind saying they're illiterates. I don't want to be with illiterates. Hello, because you left it for this long. The illiterates and some who are literate are the ones that are running it for you. Like we said, only 30 million, under 30 million people voted last election. It's terrible. Considering the amount of people that we have that have voters' cards in their homes. It's because
we have over 200 million people.
It's because our people refuse to go out. They just collected the card for fun and sat inside. Also, they were told that there's going to be violence. They do it on purpose.
To scare people.
Scare you in the area. Nobody can come to your area and rig you out if you did not allow them to do so. So join a party, whichever party you want to join. Begin to attend meetings with them. Why? So that you can become a delegate. So that you can become an executive of the party. Because our political parties, typically, they always field the highest bidder. Most political parties in Nigeria, I witnessed it. I was rigged out of one party before I ended up in the NIP that was owned by a woman. That's the only way I could become a candidate.
When you say owned by a woman, that was the woman...
The woman founded it. She founded it. And it was a party that you don't have to spend a lot of money to become a cousin. You don't have to bribe or do anything. It was a simple party for Nigerians. But they deregistered us because if you don't win any election, INEC will deregister you. So I had no choice than to go into the ruling party. Well, not ruling, but became ruling. I then joined PDP.
When did you join PDP?
I joined them after the elections when I lost.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't step down. I fired to the end. So as I was saying, the parties have been fielding aspirants that don't make sense most times. So it's whoever they give the people are forced to vote for. So many people be like, I'm not voting for that person. I'm not coming out. So for you to be a delegate, be an executive, so that on the day of the primaries,
you are the one calling the shots.
You will even ask for a debate. Do you know there's some representatives that can't speak English? And they are working for us, and they are in the Senate, and they're in the House, and they can't even talk and communicate with people because the parties collected highest bidder.
I mean, it's so taking it further. I remember when I was in UI that we used to even have manifesto nights.
Thank you.
You know, those things don't happen.
But not the parties.
Yeah, those things,
stations that did it.
It doesn't happen in the local governments, and even at the level of governors and presidents, they decide to choose whether they want to be part of a.
Some don't even come.
Yeah, So I wanted to ask you, in your experience in 2019, when you campaigned in Oyo State to be governor, and you were the candidate of NIP. What do you think was responsible for the people not to come out to vote for you, and instead voted for other people that you considered, not representative of their interest? What?
So basically, it was all money. It's called money politics. Money politics is alive in Nigeria, and the politicians continue to weaponize poverty, so that when it's time for elections, they can buy your votes. It's going for 5K, 10K, some votes 20K. So until we put an end to money politics, you will know your representative from the first day you actually elected that person. Give that person a few months in office. If that person has not come back to your constituency to carry out projects that they are collecting money for, chase that person out of that local government. We need to put power in our hands.
So
when they realize they cannot rest, when they realize they cannot enter that local government again, they will change their behavior. So it is about people just suffer for that moment. Don't fall for the candidate that turns up with money in Ghana must goes. Listen to their manifestos, learn their plan, look at their profile and see what they've ever done before you follow the money. Following the money has put us where we are today because they buy votes. So votes are being bought. To be a governor in Nigeria today, you must spend minimum of 5 to 7 billion. If you go to the oil states, I'm sure you're spending 20 billion. What is that money for, if not to buy the votes? And it's pathetic. You see sitting governors with 300,000 votes. They've become governor of a state that has 10 million people. Only 300,000 people voted for you. That means you're not popular. That means you're not their choice. They just sat down and decided not to vote for you.
Well, it's really a problem that I've been really worried about, you know. And of course, we know that money is part of the process, you know, and it's because of poverty. And I'm just wondering, what is the first thing besides us just telling them that, you know, this is not what you should do?
It's to cover them up. There's no way you can go into the populace now, enter the interiors where they are struggling and suffering and tell them, don't collect money. They'll say, no. So what we are going to do is, remember, we only have 30 million people that vote.
Right.
Out of that 30 million, I can give you a rough idea. 22 million are the ones that collected money on election day. 8 million are the clean voters. I'll call them clean voters. 8 million are the bankers, the tailors, the lawyers, the pressmen, that is the 8 million. Now, 2027 is coming. Try and get another 8 million or 10 million clean voters in again. So that means you, the teachers, the tailors, the barbers, the clean voters that will not ask for money, which typically some of them they call obedience. Not obedient because they are obese fan, but obedient to the law, obedient to be civic, obedient to partake, right?
Obedient to understand democracy.
To know that we need to enter this together. So let's get 10 million more. If we get 10 million more plus that 8 million, it becomes 18 million. It might be able to give us credible leaders in some states and also produce a president that makes sense in 2027. So you have to quickly go and get it. They will try and block you. They will say there's no network. You go back again. You go back again. The bosses, people that have companies like me now, my hashtag this year is no PVC, no support. I am not sending money to anybody if I don't see your voter's card, or at least your temporary one. I'll give you a month or two. By March, I'm getting harder. I will not send you money. I will not empower you if you don't have a card. I don't care if you don't use it to vote for me in the end, but it means you have become an obedient and you have become a true Nigerian that's ready to make a change.
Okay, excellent. Excellent.
More of them.
So I wanted you to also talk about the plan to have special seats for women. I'm sure you're aware of it, in the State Assembly and in the National Assembly. What's your view on that?
Right. To the women who have been championing the reserve seats, I applaud you and well done. However, I don't see any hope in it. You cannot ask a government that's struggling, you know, not enough money is even getting to the people to create separate seats for you so that a woman will now contest. They haven't even worked out the modalities, right? So if you're creating a separate seat, who am I contesting against? Another fellow woman. Then which local government am I going to represent? They said, no, you're going to represent the whole women in the state. I don't get that. So I'm going to be a female senator, for example, representing all females in the state. So the solution, which I've told a few of them, however, I need to go higher and tell the ones higher, is to sit down the political parties. APC. Now, 3 senatorial slots in APC. 1 should go to a woman. Reps, 14. Give women at least 4 out of it. This is how we are going to get somewhere. Because whether we like it or not, we still have to balance things out. You can't have a free and fair election if you've never boosted the women a bit, right? So if the parties can be mandated to push 1 woman for Senate, 4 women for rep. Then in the assembly, the governors that have their 32 assembly members have at least 10, 15 to be women.
Yeah, but the point is that they are trying to legislate something like that and put it in the law.
That needs to happen, but I doubt if it will happen on time. So the easy thing is to call the political parties to order, which I am organizing already.
How do you call
I have an NGO.
I
I will invite them, right? This is it. I will invite them to attend our event. I will have female aspirants, because I'm actually the leader of female aspirants, both male and female in Nigeria right now. I forgot to tell you. I formed a movement in 2022. People like me who have aspired, didn't get their tickets, didn't make it. Some made it.
Across the country.
Across Nigeria. So I have members.
What's the name of that?
We actually decided to do it for Atiku.
Okay.
So it's called Articulated Global Movement.
Okay, that was
when we were all in PDP.
2023.
Yes.
Okay.
So we formed it and we fired state by state to support Atiku to become our president. So we're still together till today. I have 36 platforms on my WhatsApp. We're always chatting. They're like, Basa, what's up? What are we doing? I said, don't worry. So these women, I'll call them all, both APC women, PDP women, every party, female, as long as you want to contest, right? They will come into a big hall. We'll invite the leaders of these parties to turn up. Right. We'll now ask them, please, can you let us know categorically how many women you are going to field in your elections? Right. If the chairman of the party mandates it, the parties must do it state by state. But guess what? Nigeria is the sitting governors that choose who they want. The governors buy the forms for their senates, for their reps, for their assembly. So if the governor doesn't want you as a female, you are not going to get it.
Some of the governors even make a public show of it.
Yes, they do.
I paid for everybody.
Yes, they even point. They say, I'll choose you for my local government. I'll choose you for this local government. It happened to me.
Very exciting conversation. I wanted you to also talk before we finish about ADC as an opposition platform next year. You know, so I know that you are supporting Atiku. You already said that, you know, but aren't you worried that about rotational presidency? Don't you believe in rotational presidency?
Well, I believe in capacity. I believe in someone that has some experience. I believe in us choosing who can actually win the votes. At this point, we can't gamble. We have to look at the figures. Peter Obi and Atiku ticket is a fantastic one. It happened in 2019, I believe, and I feel they won, but there we go. They had over 12 million votes. So if you're going to split these two people again, which they've done in 2023, you can see where the votes went. 6 point something to Obi, 6 point something to His Excellency Atiku. So they should not do that again. We need to be united.
I think Atiku have 7, Obi have 5.
Okay. So we need to be united. We need to ensure that we do not lose anyone out of all these people. You can't joke with Atiku and you can't joke with Obi. They both have their strengths. I pray they both sit down.
How will they resolve the difference?
I hope they come up with that.
The Obidians who are very, louder are saying that Obi should never take VP.
They shouldn't talk like that because they don't know politics. Atiku's name is all over Nigeria. Obi's name sprang up with a new movement, a new wave.
I mean, Obi had no governor, and in 2023, he had 5 million votes. No governor.
Because of the labor mission. People got angry and said, right, we don't want party A, BC, we don't want party B, PDP. So they went for the one they felt was cleaner, which now is gone. So they only went for that. They didn't even know who they were voting for. We have an Okada rider that won rep in one state. Yes, we have a sitting senator that told me that, Basa, I don't even know who voted for me. I was already in APC. They didn't give me my ticket. I went into Labour.
A member of the House of Reps that said that he didn't have one poster.
No poster, no billboard. So people were angry. So we need to do the same thing now. But they're not enough yet. I keep telling them. I told them in 2023, I said, don't waste the votes for Obi. You are not enough yet. Slap it together and let's join force together so that we can put someone that we know will do better. But they didn't listen to me and see where we are. We're almost 4 years in. So now again, they must get it right in 2027. Otherwise, it's going to be another 4 years of what we're facing right now.
Interesting. I mean, I will have to bring you back sometimes later to talk more.
I would love to educate our people
about opposition politics, but I'll give you this this last question then. So how do you assess the current president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Because I want to understand why you want to support, why you are in opposition.
Yes, because many people say that why have I never gone, and joined them? The issue is the people who are surrounding him are not trickling the things back to the people. And the funds that he's been sending, all the governors now, they're collecting times 2, times 4, what they've ever collected as an allocation before. These funds are not getting to the people as well. Some governors are sitting on the federal government money sent to them. I'll give you an example of a northern state. There was a time in the northern state, we were calling one of my friends who was a former aspirant senatorial. The governor told his PA to call all the aspirants to compensate them by telling them to bring 20 names of their members in their local government so they can empower them.
Okay.
At that point, President Tinubu had sent money for empowerment to governors, right? To empower people, not the governor's empowerment, the people in their state. So this, my aspirant friend was happy. So he collated 20 names, sent it to the PA. Next thing the PA said, oh, you guys have to pay 2K per form. So they will have a registration form. He sent 40K for the forms, hoping that each person will get thank you. They were supposed to give each person 200K each. So President Tinubu...
You're telling us what happened.
In the northern states, President Tinubu sent money to all these governors that they should empower their people. I believe minimum was 200K per person. I don't know the quantity of how many people they should empower, right? So in the end, they collected the 40K from the guy. They took all the account numbers and the names of the 20 people, even called him back and said, that GT account is wrong, correct that one. He corrected it, all excited.
Right.
This is 2 years later. The money never got to his hand. Where's the money?
What did they call it? I mean...
So they've uploaded the list online. They've printed it that we have empowered 1,000 people in this state. In the end, they empowered themselves. So it's not getting to the people. If I was a president, oh my God, I will be in the state. I will announce it on radio, on TV. I will call a media pally and I'll say, I have brought 10 billion to your governor. He will use it to empower 100,000 of you. Bye-bye. See you later. That way, the people will know that you care about them. Second thing is they need to have more empathy. I feel this government is too harsh on the people. The people are struggling. You've come up with a new tax law. This tax law is taxing the poor more than the rich.
Honorable Bolanle Amina Sarumi Aliyu, thank you for coming to Inside Sources, and thank you for your passion.
The fire is there.
Thank you for your voice.
Thank you so much, Sir Laulu.
All right.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.